Yo, what's going on, boys? Welcome to a very simple video. I was sitting here editing just a little bit of a behemoth of a video. It wasn't too different from last week's video, but I was kind of like sitting here and I noticed that it was just too complicated. There was too much in it. There was a lot of cuts everywhere. I was trying too hard. So I rented out the entire thing and it's sitting on my desktop and it's just getting archived and is never going to see the light of day, even though it's fully edited. So I decided to just hit the go live button. I decided to hit the record button and just kind of like stream of consciousness this entire bitch. So this is what I've been up to for the last week. Game C, moving on to the next project. I've got the entire design mapped out right here. So it's a very simple game about gardening. And the idea is you kind of have these seeds, right? This is the player. And you'll go and you'll plant them down and the seeds will grow into these big plant things and they'll kind of like grow more seeds and you can harvest them, you can bind them together and then you get like the big blocks and you upgrade and that's like the entire loop and you just kind of like go through and get bigger and better stuff. Inspired by the Minecraft mod Magical Crops, I think it was. I think that's the name. Magical Crops Minecraft. Yeah, look at that. That was the shit back in the day, dude. So that's pretty much the entire game loop. All of my ideas are literally just coming from Minecraft mods, I swear. And in essence, it's just number go up. And you'll have a shed and you'll just dump a bunch of the stuff in here and get some garden power, mate. Yeah, stop in this shit, bruv. And I'm gonna focus on like a solid user interface with like you're the player and you're trying to like manipulate these objects in the world, and I really want to dial in on that. So I've been kind of like starting on this for the last week or so, and I've been making my own engine. I decided to try and figure out my own thing. So I came across Circle, and it's a really lightweight header-only library. So we've got the GFX, which is 3D wrapper over OpenGL, Metal, D3D11. Then you've got the OS layer and time, and these are really the only three things that I'm using. And on top of that, there's a nice 2D graphics rendering API as well called Circle GP, and that's been really amazing to use. So I've decided to take those two bad boys, wrap them up into my own little engine, Thomas the Game Engine, and kind of just get cracking on this bad boy and see what it's like. It's open source. Repo will be down in the description below, so you can go through it if you like. And the main catalyst for this entire move is I was sitting in C and I was writing up like a linked list array. I was just trying to get an array going. And I was thinking too much about like the internal kind of structure of the array. And I was like, it would be really nice if I could just have a template and really just not care about the array. So I was like, maybe I should go use C++ and try and figure out some nice, like very simple templated arrays. I still haven't got around to doing the linked list version of this yet, but I have a flat array in here. And the funny thing is, like, even after doing all of this and overloading the access operator to do some nice bounds checking so you never have some out of bounds arrays and all that kind of stuff, I just realized that you can just use macros in C and basically get this exact same result. I want to try it out for the linked list helpers, but again, I feel like macros in C will be equally as effective for that. Anywho, I also wanted to try out operator overloading, and that's been an absolute treat as well. But I've pretty much just been writing my entire base layer from scratch. This is kind of like the README, I guess you could call it at the moment. I've just been dumping a bunch of stuff in here. Big shout out to Alan Webster for the inspiration for the base layer. It follows Ryan's telescope pretty heavily as well. So yeah, there's some absolutely amazing stuff in there. So I've just been running up some helpers, a bit of math, defines, all that kind of stuff. I am keen to try and figure out how to do memorinas myself as well and keep them within the 32-bit address space so I can do a nice WebAssembly port. That's also another reason why I wanted to use Circle. like it'll be trivial to get this up and running on WebAssembly. So we'll see how that goes, right? Because how cool would it be to just link out to this and you've just got like an entire game just running in the browser, you know? Like, I think that would be kind of hype as shit. Anyway, I ported over the project into this bad boy, and I've got building and up and running, and everything's all dandy. We've got the particles going on in the background. We've got the player moving around. I've got this nice little guidance thing. I'm like in the middle of figuring out, how can the player place down the seeds in the first place? So that's kind of what I've left off on. But yeah, nice and simple so far. Nothing too cray. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing over the last week, is just kind of wrapping my head around that. Amazingly, this entire thing is only about like 330 lines of code so far. So it's really nice and lightweight, and the build times seem to be pretty solid as well, even though it is C++. There's like a minor build difference compared to C, but it's the price you pay for all the modern features of C++. Anywho, yeah, just a quick little update. Figured I'd hop on and see what's up. I really want to make it clear that like these videos, if I'm really talking to anyone, it's more like I'm talking to my past self, right? Like, I'm not trying to come in here and tell absolutely everyone how it should be done and, this is how you make games, right? You're going to be a fucking failure if you do it any other way, right? Like, the whole reason I'm kind of doing all this shit from scratch is, like, I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out answer, but at the end of the day, I'm just doing it because I want to do it, right? There are all these other reasons you can layer on top, and you say like, oh, in the long run, I'll be a better program and I'll be able to do it like way faster and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to be here growing, learning this stuff, trying to figure out how to program well and just do things as simply and minimally as possible with like zero overhead. So that's really my goal at the end of the day. That's kind of my main goal for Thomas the Game Engine, is to just be this very lightweight set of tools to facilitate making a game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just had like a bit of an open source itch that I wanted to scratch and consider it scratched here. I'll definitely head back to Telescope one day and kind of take what I've learned and merge in with Ryan. But for now, I'm going to be sitting in here and trying to figure out all of this on my own. We'll see how long C++ lasts. I'm still yet to try out the linked list array. Maybe that'll be helpful. Who knows? I have a sneaking suspicion that it'll all be easily done with headers anyway, because I literally just realized that my main gripe with the arrays was the fact that, if you were making an array, you would have like entities, right? And then you would have 64. And then instead of hard coding that number there, you would pull it out into a define and you'd be like max entities. But then I just realized that, well, you can actually just keep it this way and you can just get the size of the array at any given time by literally just going like size of entities and then dividing it by the size of entities, right? So the entire array flat thing, this could be baked down into macros in C. So now the only thing C++ has going for it is the fact that I can do this and not have it be on 7 lines of code. Is that worth it? I don't know. I guess time will tell. Who knows? I have no clue what the future's going to hold. Anywho, hope you've had an absolutely excellent week. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe and tell your mother that you love her.